there are two key international operations which we are involved in right now. One is the Gulf of Aden. The situation in the Gulf of Aden continues to be of concern, piracy situation. And our approach is that Singapore on its own is not able to defend Singapore ships or protect Singapore ships everywhere in the world. In fact, no country is able to protect its own ships everywhere in the world. So our position is that we contribute our assets and our capabilities to an international operation so that we help each other. So we help to protect other people's ships, other people help to protect our ships, and to create an environment where key sea lanes can continue to remain as safe and as secure and as free for use as possible. So that's the basic underlying reason why we are involved in the Gulf of Aden. This year, we had a significant deployment. One of our officers and our command team was in command of an international task force, the Combined Task Force 151. I think that showed certain confidence of our international partners in our capability to lead such an operation. One of our ships, LST with 2 helicopters, is on the way to the Gulf right now for a 3-month deployment in the Gulf. And later this year, we will have a Fokker 50 maritime patrol aircraft which will go there for also a 3-month deployment from December to February next year. So that is the Gulf of Aden. In Afghanistan, this is the 4th year that we've deployed the SAF there. And if I can recap the reasons why we're in Afghanistan, what happens in Afghanistan has a bearing on our own security in our region and our security in Singapore. If you recall, the JI elements in Singapore who were detained in 2001 and 2002, they actually had connections with the Taliban and Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. And if you recall, the videotape of a recce of an MRT station in Singapore was actually found in Kabul in the house of the Al-Qaeda operations chief, Muhammad Aden. So there is a direct connection. And our purpose in Afghanistan is to support the international efforts there to try and bring stability to Afghanistan so that Afghanistan will not be a location from which terrorism is exported to other parts of the world, including to our region and to Singapore. So we understand that our capabilities are limited, so we contribute in niche areas where we believe that we can make a useful contribution. Currently, we are deployed in 2 places, 2 provinces in Afghanistan. One is in Bamiyan province, and the other is in Uruzgan province. In Uruzgan province, we have been there for 3 years now, and in Bamiyan we've been there for 4 years. This is our 4th year. We've taken the opportunity to do a review of our deployments in Afghanistan. And this is in view of the new strategy that the International Security Assistance Force in Afghanistan has developed. And this new strategy has 2 elements which are important for us in terms of considering what our deployment is. The first element is an emphasis on building up the capability of the Afghan National Security Forces. And the objective there is to help to build up the Afghan National Security Forces so that they will be able to take on an increasing role and eventually be fully responsible for their own security. So that's one aspect. The second aspect of the new revised approach that's being taken is for ISAF to gradually hand over responsibility for security and governance of those provinces which are more stable to the Afghan authorities. So these two things are happening, and so it is provided opportune time for us to review our deployments in Afghanistan.